Let's start with our first news. Lately, it feels like nothing is impossible in MMA anymore. The sport has entered one of those rare moments where the biggest names in the game are being humbled, the impossible is becoming reality, and every prediction seems to be getting flipped upside down. Very few people expected Ilia to lose to Justin Gaethje. Even fewer imagined Alex Pereira getting completely dominated by Cyril Gane. Then there was Khamzat falling short against Sean Strickland. The entire MMA timeline feels like it has been rewritten overnight. That is exactly why the idea of Ian Garry challenging Islam Makhachev for the welterweight title no longer sounds crazy to many fans and analysts around the sport. Momentum changes quickly in MMA, and confidence can shift an entire division. According to Joe Rogan, Ian has a real chance in this matchup, especially if he can force the fight to stay on the feet and avoid prolonged grappling exchanges. On the feet, Ian's movement, striking, and distance management could create serious problems for almost anyone in the division. However, the danger becomes obvious the moment the fight hits the canvas. If Islam is able to secure repeated takedowns, the fight could change in an instant. The pressure, control, and submissions of Islam have overwhelmed elite fighters before, and many believe that path remains his biggest advantage. Joe and his guests pointed out that Ian struggled on the ground against Shavkat in the past, but they also emphasized that fighters evolve. Ian continues to improve, continues to learn, and continues to prepare at the highest level. His clearest path to victory remains the striking battle, where his speed and precision could become the deciding factor on the biggest stage imaginable. Move on to another news. It looks like Conor is already paying close attention to the rapidly changing welterweight division, and he may already have his eyes on another massive fight in the future. During the UFC 329 pre-fight press conference, Conor was asked about the possibility of facing fellow Irish star Ian Garry if Ian manages to accomplish the unthinkable and capture the welterweight title from Islam Makhachev. The question immediately grabbed the attention of everyone in attendance. After all, Conor has made it clear for years that his goal is to become a triple champion and continue adding historic achievements to his legacy. A showdown between two of Ireland's biggest MMA stars would instantly become one of the biggest fights the sport has ever seen. When asked whether he would be willing to fight a fellow Irishman if Ian becomes champion, Conor did not hesitate for a single second. There was no long pause, no complicated answer, and no attempt to avoid the topic. His response was direct, simple, and confident. No problem. The crowd immediately reacted to the answer as Conor doubled down with his trademark charisma and confidence. No problem, as they say in Brazil. It was classic Conor. Relaxed, confident, and completely open to taking on any challenge that could move him closer to history. The comment instantly sparked discussions across the MMA world, with fans already imagining what an all-Irish championship clash could look like inside the Octagon. For now, everything depends on Ian and whether he can reach the top of the division first. But one thing appears to be clear. If the belt ends up around Ian's waist, Conor has absolutely no issue stepping across the cage and competing for another historic championship opportunity. Move on to another news. Paddy Pimblett has finally responded to the controversy surrounding Ilia's defeat and the explanation that followed the brutal battle with Justin Gaethje. After the fight, Ilia suggested that much of the damage to his face was caused by a severe eye poke rather than the striking exchanges that unfolded throughout the contest. According to Ilia, the foul was not a minor incident. He claimed the thumb went so deep into his eye that he could actually feel it reach his brain. He explained that the impact affected his vision immediately and that he struggled to see properly for almost 2 full rounds after the incident occurred. The comments instantly divided the MMA community. Some fans sympathized with the situation and believed the eye poke may have played a major role in the outcome of the fight. Others argued that the damage came from the relentless pressure and striking of Justin, rather than one single moment inside the cage. Paddy clearly falls into the second category. When asked about the situation and whether he would have similar concerns about facing Ilia after witnessing the fight, Paddy did not hold back. He made it clear that he did not believe Ilia suffered the kind of eye poke that would explain the punishment he absorbed throughout the contest. According to Paddy, Ilia simply got his face smashed up during the fight. The comments quickly escalated when the conversation shifted toward a possible matchup between the two rivals. When someone suggested that Paddy might never fight Ilia, he appeared genuinely surprised by the idea and immediately dismissed it. In classic Paddy fashion, he fired back with confidence and swagger, making it clear that he has absolutely no fear of sharing the cage with his longtime rival. The rivalry between the two continues to grow, and every new interview seems to add even more fuel to the fire. Meanwhile, another huge story has exploded ahead of UFC 329. Khamzat has confirmed that Conor is heading to his California training camp so the two superstars can train together. The news immediately sent the MMA world into a frenzy, with fans struggling to believe the image of Conor and Khamzat sharing the mats together. Khamzat is currently preparing for a potential rematch with Sean Strickland after losing a controversial split decision, while Conor remains fully focused on his blockbuster return against Max Holloway. The unexpected alliance between two of MMA's biggest stars has instantly become one of the most talked about stories in the sport right now. Move on to another news. Justin Gaethje may be sitting on top of the lightweight division, but that does not mean he already knows what comes next. Following his championship victory and another brutal war inside the Octagon, Justin admitted that he still has not made a final decision regarding his fighting future. When asked whether he had decided if he would compete again or potentially walk away from the sport, Justin made it clear that nothing has been finalized yet. According to the champion, the UFC landscape changes incredibly fast, and making long-term plans in MMA is almost impossible. Justin explained that there are several massive fights coming up across multiple divisions, and he wants to take his time and watch how everything unfolds before making any decisions about his own future. The lightweight division continues to evolve rapidly, and one result can completely change the title picture overnight. One major factor in his decision is his body. Justin revealed that he fought twice this year, something that is extremely unusual for him. In fact, he admitted that fighting 2 times in a single year is already rare in his career, while fighting 3 times in 1 year is almost unheard of. After years of wars inside the cage, the champion says his body is demanding rest. He confirmed that he entered his last 2 fights carrying injuries and dealing with physical issues behind the scenes. Despite those setbacks, he continued to compete at the highest level and ultimately climbed to the top of the division once again. Now, his priority is recovery. Justin plans to step away from training camps for a while, allow his injuries to heal, and give his body the time it needs before considering another return to competition. He also acknowledged an important reality about the UFC. No matter what a fighter wants, the promotion ultimately plays a major role in deciding what opportunities become available and which matchups move forward. Because of that, Justin plans to wait and see what conversations the UFC wants to have and what possibilities emerge over the coming months. Until then, the newly crowned champion intends to enjoy the moment, celebrate his achievement, and appreciate everything he has worked for throughout his incredible career. For now, Justin is focused on one thing above all else: enjoying life as the undisputed champion of the world. Move on to another news. Conor has shared his thoughts on Dustin Poirier's recent situation and made it clear that, in his opinion, accountability is the most important step moving forward. Speaking during a recent interview, Conor explained that difficult situations can quickly become even worse if they are not treated with complete seriousness from the very beginning. According to Conor, people often make the mistake of listening to outside voices that try to downplay serious issues or turn them into jokes. Over time, that mindset can become dangerous, causing someone to convince themselves that everything is fine when the reality may be very different. His message was simple and direct: take the situation with absolute seriousness. Conor explained that once someone starts dismissing warning signs or laughing off problems, it can become easier to slip further and further down the wrong path. In his view, the most important thing is recognizing the issue early and confronting it head-on before it grows into something much bigger. He also stated that personal accountability is essential. A According to Conor, accepting responsibility is a necessary step toward moving forward and making positive changes. At the same time, he made it clear that he did not want to go too deeply into Dustin's personal matters out of respect for his family and children. Despite their long rivalry over the years, Conor wished Dustin and his family the best and expressed hope that everything works out for him moving forward. The conversation later shifted toward Ilia and his recent defeat. Conor acknowledged the brutality of the sport and pointed out that MMA can change everything in a single night. He described the loss as a tough moment for any fighter to experience and recognized the physical damage Ilia suffered during the contest. When discussing their connection, Conor said he finds it amusing that Ilia frequently references him and quotes some of his famous lines and moments. Rather than viewing it negatively, Conor sees it as proof of the impact he has had on the sport and the fighters who came after him. According to Conor, inspiring and motivating the next generation of athletes is something he takes pride in. As for Ilia, Conor wished him well following the defeat and made it clear that the story is far from over. In MMA, setbacks happen to every fighter, but what matters most is how they respond when the time comes to make their return. Move on to another news. For years, one of the running jokes surrounding Conor and UFC press conferences has been his habit of arriving late. Fans have almost come to expect it whenever his name appears on the poster. The delays, the anticipation, and the dramatic entrances have become part of the entire spectacle surrounding one of the biggest stars in combat sports history. But according to Dana White, UFC 329 was completely different. In a surprising twist, Conor was not only on time for the pre-fight press conference, he was actually early. Even more surprising, Dana revealed that Conor was the one pushing for the event to begin exactly when it was scheduled. Dana joked that if he had to criticize Conor for one thing over the years, it would probably be his timekeeping at media events and press conferences. However, this time the UFC boss admitted that he could not say that anymore. According to Dana, Conor arrived at the arena ahead of schedule and immediately wanted to get the show moving. He recalled Conor approaching him and making his intentions very clear. "Listen, I want to get this thing going on time." The comment caught many people by surprise, especially considering Conor's long history of memorable late arrivals that often left fans and media waiting for his entrance. Whether it was a sign of renewed focus, professionalism, or simply excitement for his long-awaited return, one thing was obvious to everyone inside the building. This version of Conor looked locked in. With his blockbuster return fast approaching and the attention of the entire MMA world fixed firmly on UFC 329, Conor appears determined to handle every detail with maximum focus and discipline. From showing up early to demanding the event start on schedule, the former champion seems fully committed to proving that he is treating this comeback with complete seriousness. For perhaps the first time in a long time, Conor was not the reason for the delay. He was the reason everyone else had to hurry up. Move on to another news. New photos of Ilia have surfaced online following his brutal championship battle with Justin Gaethje, and the images have quickly caught the attention of the MMA world. After suffering significant damage during one of the most violent fights of the year, many fans were wondering how the former champion was recovering in the weeks after the war. Based on the latest photos, the recovery process appears to be going very well. Although Ilia was wearing sunglasses that covered his eyes, the rest of his face looked noticeably healthier and significantly more healed compared to the condition he was in immediately after the fight. Considering the punishment both men absorbed during their unforgettable clash, many fans were surprised by how quickly he appears to be recovering. The images have sparked optimism among supporters, who are eager to see the former champion return to action sooner rather than later. Meanwhile, Justin was recently asked about another potential fight involving Ilia, and his answer left absolutely no room for debate. Having already shared the Octagon with both Ilia and Paddy Pimblett this year, the undisputed lightweight champion believes he has a unique perspective on how a potential rivalry between the two would play out inside the cage. According to Justin, the outcome would be overwhelmingly one-sided. the champion confidently predicted that Ilia would defeat Paddy an astonishing 97 times out of 100. It was not a close prediction, and it was not delivered with any hesitation. Justin explained that Ilia operates on an entirely different level as a mixed martial artist and remains one of the most dangerous fighters in the sport today. The comments quickly spread throughout the MMA community and eventually reached Paddy himself. As expected, the Liverpool star did not stay quiet for long and immediately began defending both his skills and his chances in a potential showdown with one of the division's most feared competitors.